It's interesting because, about 7 weeks ago, we almost didn't have a business.
Wow.
And so we had to pull together our team. A lot of the training consulting, obviously face to face. And so our team rapidly were able to bring our services to a facilitated online delivery.
Yeah.
And we've been flat out.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because a lot of our clients are from regulated regulators, and they needed to upskill their lead auditors. So we were also able to provide training in how to, you could conduct an audit remotely. And for us, I definitely see it as being an important piece going forward post-COVID in relation to the offering of our services.
How do you guys work with the industry associations? I know that you train auditors, whether it's in-house in operations, but also those industry auditors who go out to businesses. So how do you normally interact with them? How does that work?
Well, they usually contact us directly. We've built a good rapport with a number of regulators, typically Civil Aviation Safety Authority or National Rail Safety Regulator, which is a new one, Transport Safety Victoria, the blood banks in Australia, New Zealand, etc. And they have already trained up their lead auditor cohort. And from time to time they get new entrants that come along and they send us on our programs. We work for Department of Primary Industries around Australia because they've got an audit cohort that has to audit all the farms and producers, etc., to stop the import of mad cow disease. And they just like our positive approach. It's all based around ISO standards. There are ISO standards for how you do audits. A lot of regulators don't know of that standard, so we just love what we do. And as I say, it's we run public courses so people can come individually and mix with other organisations. But I think it's that compliance to ISO which gives that import-export a flavour.
I was going to ask.
To self-regulate, the governments used to do the audits and no one failed. And they're finding they can't play on that level playing field unless they get the world-renowned certifying businesses to go and audit them to go have that credibility. So by getting external commercial certifiers into those areas, they seem to be on that level playing field, and they've had to catch up and they've had to change, and it's been good for consumers like us.
Industries that have emerged that you hadn't sort of envisaged before?
Well, we went to a little place yesterday who supply hospital products. Highly regulated. They've won a lot of business based on their reputation from the father who started up 50 years ago, and now the two sons are running the business. And they've been able to trade on their reputation until now. With all these standards coming in, they're calling for certification of ISO standards, both from the health and safety perspective, as you mentioned, the quality standards, etc., and environmental. So they just contacted us and says, this is going to be a license to be in business in the future. We need to do this. And so we went out and visited them yesterday, and just a wonderful business, family business. And it's difficult for them if there's ignorance about the standards, you see. So they're good at their commodity, but not good at compliance.
And that's a common theme, isn't it? Especially for smaller businesses.
Starting to work with a lot of NDS service providers. And apparently there's, we hear that there's 20,000 companies that need to be approved by the NDS Commission. So they're all getting their compliance act together. So there's a massive demand there for auditors and compliance that was never there before. So we're seeing a lot of that. A lot of the not-for-profits, they can't get grants unless they're ISO certified or have systems in place that meet state-based regulations. But you know, from an ISO perspective, it's actually an entry barrier into some of the markets, both up and down the supply chain. So